And this is kind of the quintessential summer bloom. This is English lavender, just the straight up English lavender. So it's in its full show right now. I've probably got another 3 to 4 weeks before they start to fade on me. This is Lavandula Augusifolia, English lavender. Very popular perennial. And this is at the end of its bloom cycle. This is late August, just about September, and you can see that these flowers are spent. I'll show you photos of it when it's in its prime, but this is a good example of just a singular plant that's happy. This is a mature one, and this is what a lot of people don't understand. That plant is 5 feet across right there, and it's about 3.5 feet tall at the tops of its blossoms. The foliage itself is probably 18 to 24 inches, but these get a lot bigger than people seem to realize. Certainly there are dwarf varieties, but just straight English lavender, pretty big plant. And so when you're spotting it in a garden, you want to make sure you give it room to do its thing. It has a nice rounded form. You can see there's a bit of a hole in that plant, and that's part of what they do as they get older. In my garden, I put these in and I expect to get 2 to 3 years out of them, and then I replace them. Matter of fact, see this guy? He's dying right there in the middle. It's not as large to begin with, just not as happy. That's just something you should expect with lavenders. In my experience is that some of them, it's not the longest lived plant you're ever going to use, but they're fast growing, they're fast to mature. You can put in a 1-gallon container and get it to be 3 feet across, 2.5 to 3 feet across within 2 seasons, certainly, or 2 years. So quick to reach maturity, and because of the show and the lovely smell, to me they're still a good candidate in the landscape. But watch my video on deadheading this because these are due for it, and it's super easy to do. Literally one of these plants maybe takes about 1.5 minutes to totally clean up with some shears, and it's one of the few plants that really likes to be sheared, and it doesn't change the shape away from what it naturally is. They naturally have a nice tight rounded form, and that just helps you clean it up. So English lavender, also the deer don't eat this, so it's a great plant in deer areas. It's very low water, and so you can use this in low water conditions. I'd say it's, I don't know if I call it drought resistant, but I think, yeah, I'd probably go so far as to say that once it's established. Looks a little better with some semi-regular water though. And so deer resistant, low water, and likes full sun. If you want it to bloom the way you see here, you need to put this in full sun, or you're not going to get as heavy of a bloom, and you'll tend to get a leggier plant with nice foliage on it, but not as intense of a bloom. And that is also, these like good drainage. If you put these in heavy soils or low areas where they're getting too wet, or next to a lawn where there's overspray, they're not going to perform well. You're going to shorten the life of them for sure. So these are on a little bit of a cross slope here, so this doesn't hold water, and these are happy with this situation. So just make sure if you got heavier soils that you put them on some kind of a slope or a high area so that they're not sitting with wet feet during the winter. And that is English lavender.